So the big day is tomorrow. Diddy's going to be sentenced tomorrow. Will he be free? Will he be sentenced to 11 years? What the prosecutors want to him to be sentenced as? Or maybe he might do a year or so. We don't know. Everybody's going to be surprised tomorrow. What time will he be served? You know what I'm saying? Will he be able to go home to see his kids, do the freak off things that he been doing, you know what I'm saying, before he went to jail? Nobody really knows, man. But I got a few articles that I want to read from TMZ that we got two new sexual lawsuits. Also, 50 Cent also wrote Judge Summerlin, and also Diddy even wrote a letter also before his decision tomorrow, man. So let's get into it. So it says Diddy two new sexual assault lawsuits on sentencing eve. Diddy is staring down one of the biggest days of his life, his prison sentence, and how just one day before that goes down, he's been hit with two new sexual lawsuits. Wow. So I'm guessing all this time that Diddy was in jail, even during the court and stuff like that, even before the trial, these people right here, now they want to file the lawsuit. Come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying this is not true, whatever, but it's like, why are you filing the lawsuit now, the day before his sentencing? You know what I mean? So in new court arguments obtained by TMZ, Lakeisha Ward and Dejon Bledsoe, both represented by attorney Tony Busby. Wow, okay. We already know Tony Busby is a guy that sues a lot of celebrities. You know what I'm saying? Even sued Jay-Z and lost. Who's unleashed a flurry of cases against the hip hop mogul, claiming separate lawsuits they were sexually assaulted by the mogul. Ward alleges Diddy drugged and sexually assaulted her at a pool party hosting at his LA home in 2018. Ward said she signed an NDA before entering the party and felt dizzy, just one or two drinks. She claims she was eventually led to a bedroom, laid down as her drowsiness increased when she claims Diddy entered, became sexually aggressive, and eventually climbed on top of her and penetrated her. Wow. Bledsoe says back in 2019, he was just 18 and met Diddy at a small party at the Beverly Hills Plaza Hotel, where Diddy allegedly intensed him with the premises of a recording contract and entry into the music biz. Huh. Bledsoe claims Diddy then drugged and sexually assaulted him throughout the night as he lapsed in and out of the conscious. Both of the Busby's clients are seeking compensatory and punishment damages for the alleged sexual assaults. We reached out to Representative Diddy. So far, no word back. Wow. So this guy right here, Bledsoe, says Diddy drugged him and sexually assaulted him. And I highlight the sexual part because throughout this whole trial, and it already been, male prostitutes and stuff like that already been on trial and gave their testimony, and none of them said, even Cassie and the other women, you know what I'm saying? None of them said that, even the sisters and stuff like that or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But like, nobody said Diddy mess with the males. You know what I mean? But this guy here coming now from 2008 that Diddy assaulted him, sexually assaulted him. You get what I'm saying? Like, Cassie would have said that. Even the male prostitutes, none of them, even throughout the interviews with Vlad TV and other interviewers or whatever, none of them said Diddy mess with them or nothing like that. He just basically liked seeing his girlfriends sleep with them. You know what I mean? So it's kind of all, but then again, like I say, I don't know it can be true or whatever. All this stuff is alleged, but it's kind of interesting, man. You know what I'm saying? This came in when this came 2009. You know what I mean? 2009, almost 20 years ago. Like, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like saying you can't come out and say what happened years and years later, but a big mogul like this right here in trial and stuff like that, been in jail for like a year, and now you just coming out with this lawsuit. It seemed kind of fishy, man. We already know everything about Tony Busby. You know what I'm saying? A lot of his cases, man, he just do it for the money. You know what I mean? So let's get into 50 Cent, his letter. Then we get into Diddy letter, man. Let's get into it. We got 50 Cent, man, who's a rapper, and also he's the baby daddy of Daphne Joy. Daphne Joy is one of the escorts, one of the women that was on trial for Diddy. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into it right here, man. So 50 Cent, Diddy will create a baby oil shortage if you let him out, Judge. Wow, we already know 50 Cent, man. He does a lot of stuff on Twitter and stuff like that, making jokes for a lot of people. It's crazy. So 50 Cent screwing with Diddy a day before the mogul finds out whether he's headed off to prison or if he gets to go home, and telling the judge to think of the general public's need for baby oil. The rapper shared a message on Instagram Thursday afternoon, kicking it off by addressing Judge Arian Submarine directly and mentioning his long-standing beef with Puffy. Wow. So let's read this letter right here, man, what he said, man. So it says, Dear Judge Submarine, I have had an ongoing dispute with Puffy for over 20 years. He's very dangerous. Multiple times I have feared for my life. I think you should consider the safety of the general public, Your Honor, before unleashing him upon them. There hasn't been enough time for him to reform or make any adjustment despite his trying to teach a class in there. As you are already aware, the government has spent the maximum amount of money on deploying federal agencies which appear to be an army in two locations simultaneously. Later, his son, who's dealing with his own rape allegations, claimed that the feds had hit the wrong house. Anyway, Diddy's only going to return to hiring more male sex workers and keeping most of the baby oil away from the general public and babies needed. My Netflix doc on this scandal subject is coming soon. Wow, man. So 50 Cent is kind of speaking some facts and some realness or whatever, but then again, it's like he's also making a joke of this. You know what I'm saying? Because we already know 50 Cent makes a joke a lot of times. But then again, him and Diddy also had beef going on some years and stuff like that. And now everybody found out that, man, listen, Diddy slept with your baby mom. Your baby mom was doing a lot of the freak offs. You know what I'm saying? Crazy situation, man. Crazy. We gonna see, man. We really gonna see if this letter really put a effect on the judge's mind to sentence Diddy to 11 years, what the prosecutors really want. So now let's get into the big letter, man. The big letter is Diddy. Diddy finally kind of speaking out a little bit, you know. He didn't speak on the stand, but this is a letter that he sent into the judge, man. So it says, Diddy, sorry for the pain I caused so many. Current situation is my fault. So Diddy is taking responsibility for his actions, telling the judge in his case he's sorry for all the hurt and pain he's caused others through his actions. The rapper filed a 4-page letter Thursday ahead of his Friday sentencing hearing, beginning with the apology before admitting the last 2 years had been the hardest of his life, and there is no one to blame for my current reality and situation but myself. Let's read the letters. Pretty long letter, but I want to really read it, you know what I'm saying, because I want to understand Diddy's mindset all that time he was in jail doing the trial, everything that came out about his life to the public and stuff like that. So I really want to read his letter and really, does he really get it? Do you really understand that? Listen, man, you might be going to jail for a very, very, very long time. So let's get into it. So, dear Judge Summerine, I hope this letter finds you well and in good health and spirits. Thank you for the opportunity to express my thoughts to you. First and foremost, I want to apologize and say how sincerely sorry I am for all the hurt and the pain that I have caused others by my conduct. I take full responsibility and accountability for my past wrongs. This has been the hardest 2 years of my life, and I have no one to blame for my current reality and situation but myself. In my life, I have made many mistakes, but I am no longer running from them. I am so sorry for the hurt that I caused, but I understand that the mere words "I'm sorry" I will never be good enough, as these words alone cannot erase the pain from the past. Over the past 13 months, I had to look in the mirror like never before. My pain became my teacher. My sadness was my motivator. I have to admit, my downfall was rooted in my selfishness. The scene and image of me assaulting Cassie play over and over in my head daily. I literally lost my mind. I was dead wrong for putting my hands on the woman that I love. I'm sorry for that, and I always will be. My domestic violence will always be a heavy burden that I will have to forever carry. The remorse, the sorrow, the regret, the disappointment, the shame. I honestly feel sorry for something that I couldn't forgive someone else for. They put their hands on one of my daughters. This is why it's so hard for me to forgive myself. It is like a deep wound that leaves an ugly scar. Wow. Yana, I thought I was providing for Jane concerning her and her child, but after hearing her testimony, I realized that I hurt her. For this, I am deeply sorry. I lost my way. I got lost in my journey, lost in the drugs and its excesses. My downfall was rooted in my selfishness. I have been humbled and broken to my core. Jail is designed to break you mentally, physically, and spiritually. Over the past year, there have been so many times that I wanted to give up. There have been some days I thought I would be better off dead. The old me died in jail, and a new version of me was reborn. Prison will change you or kill you. I choose to live. Wow. Every day since my incarceration, as difficult as my circumstances currently are, I have made the best of my time by reading books, writing, working out, and in therapy, obtaining the tools and knowledge to deal with my past drug abuse and anger issues. I have been putting in the work and working digitally to become the best version of myself to ensure that I never make the same mistakes again. I realize that I am in a situation where no amount of money, power, or fame can save me. Only God can save me. My grandmother used to teach me that God makes no mistakes and that everything he does this for your good. I believe that a bad situation can be used for good. Although this situation has been the hardest and darkest time in my life, good things have come out of my incarceration. For starters, I am now sober for the first time in 25 years. I have been trying my best to deal with the drug abuse and anger issues and to take accountability as well as positive steps towards healing. One of the beautiful things, one of the most beautiful things I have experienced is being asked by my fellow inmates to teach and mentor them. They wanted to learn what I did to become a successful businessman. I was inspired by their hunger and desire to learn information in order to not only set goals but achieve any goal, dream, that their hearts desire. I started teaching a 6-week program called Free Game, title given by my fellow inmates, which was able to be approved and sanctioned by the Bureau of Prisons. I don't just teach about my success, I also teach about my mistakes and failures. It has truly been a blessing to do something positive in a negative situation. It has been beautiful to see the newfound hope in my fellow inmates' eyes. The most shocking thing was to see the unity and the peace this class has produced. As you are probably aware, jails and prisons are segregated places. However, in our class, we have black, Spanish, white, Asian, all together in one room, learning and working together. We even have an interpreter for the Spanish speaking inmates. The biggest miracle and I have seen with this class is all the gangs such as Bloods, Crips, MS-13, Trinitarios, and 18 Streets in one room working together. I am also proud to say that since the class started, there have been no fights in our unit. This class has also helped me in my time of need and desperate. Being able to do something good for others has also given me much needed hope. God bless me with this opportunity to help others, and I will continue to do so. Ask you for the mercy today, not only for my sake, but for the sake of my children. God bless me with seven beautiful children, 3 sons and 4 daughters. The names are Quincy, Justin, Kristen, Chance, Jesse, Dilla, and the newest addition, a 2-year-old daughter, Love. 4 of my children lost their mother, Kim Porter, as she tragically passed away in 2018. I am the only parent. I have failed my children as a father. My father was murdered when I was 3 years old, so I know firsthand what it is to not have a father. More than anything, I just wanted the opportunity to return home and be the father that they need and deserve. God also blessed me with the greatest mother in the world. My mother sacrificed her life and dreams to provide for me and my younger sister, Keisha. She worked 3 jobs to make sure we had a roof over our heads, clothes on our backs, and the best education. My mother is now 84 years old and she recently had brain surgery. Despite her own health challenges, she attended my trial every day. I have always been her primary caregiver. It breaks my heart that I put myself in this situation and for the first time, I am unable to be there for my mother when she needs me most. As I write you this letter, I am scared to death, scared to spend another second away from my mother and my children. I no longer care about the money or the fame, and there is nothing more important to me than my family. I understand that one factor I understand that one factor the court has to consider is deterrence. Deterrence for me and for others to ensure that no one follows in my footsteps and makes the same mistakes. For over a year, I have been locked in one room with 25 other incarcerated people sharing the same room. In this room that I share, there are no windows, there are no natural clean air, there's no sunlight, and we all live in one room. We eat, we sleep, we use the toilet, take showers, and prepare meals or all in the same room. The conditions that my actions have placed me in are inhumane. I don't tell you this for pity or sympathy. I'm simply sharing my truth and the truth of my fellow incarceration people. We have no clean drinking water. We boil our drinking water. We all share one washing machine, which is broken. I am surrounded by drugs, live every day with the constant threat of being stabbed or losing my life. Again, I'm not expecting pity or sympathy, but my time at MDC has changed me forever. Prior to being in jail, I took care and I was present for my family. Being in jail and because of my conduct, I lost the ability to care for my mother. I lost the ability to effectively raise and support my children. I had missed my three daughters' proms and graduations. I had missed taking one of my daughters to college. I have lost her freedom to teach my 2-year-old how to speak, dance, play, or be there to console her when she falls down or has a nightmare. I started for nothing and working hard to earn every day, everything I had, but because of my conduct, I have lost all of my businesses. I lost my career. I lost the charter schools that I started. And I have destroyed my reputation and stained the reputation of those that worked for me. I lost my being present with my family. Between all of my losses and lessons, I can state for the fact that I would never be in another criminal courtroom again, and I do not believe any other person would do anything similar from fear of similar punishment. If you give me a chance, I would like the opportunity to share my story with people to prevent at least one person from making the mistake that I've made. I can't change the past, but I can change the future. I know that God put me here to transform me. Since incarceration, I have gone through a spiritual reset. I'm on a journey that will take my time and hard work. I'm proud to say I'm working hard, harder than I ever have before. I'm committed to the journey of remaining a drug free, nonviolent, and peaceful person. I thank God that I'm stronger, wiser, clear and sober. God makes no mistakes. I realize that this trial has received a tremendous amount of global press, and Your Honor may be inclined to make an example out of me. I would ask Your Honor to make me an example of what a person can do if afforded a second chance. If you allow me to go home to my family, I promise I will not let you down, and I will make you proud. Today, I humbly ask you for you another chance to be a better father, another chance to be a better son, another chance to be a better leader in my community, and another chance to live a better life. I am writing this not to gain any sympathy or pity. The experience is simply the truth of my existence has changed my life forever, and I would never commit a crime again. Thank you for your time and consideration, Sean Combs. Wow. Mm, 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 mm. I must say, um, by reading this right here, um, you think P Diddy wrote this? You think? But no, in all seriousness though, man, reading that letter right there, I don't know Diddy at all. I just know this guy from TV commercials, movies or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Music. Seeing this guy and some of the stories I heard of him growing up or whatever. We don't know nobody until something really happens. And when this guy went to court, a lot of stuff really came out, and it really shined a light on his life, everything what he was about, just a demon side. Only thing I saw was this music mogul, man, this entrepreneur, this billionaire who makes so much money and built a career of music from the ground up to what it is today, Bad Boy Records. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I never knew this guy, so never really thought he was an angel, but he was just somebody that really was a good businessman. You know what I'm saying? Funny, made jokes and stuff like that. And just being, a bachelor of just having a lot of kids and stuff like that, different baby moms and stuff, but this letter right here, it really, not just me, but anybody who read this letter, I mean, it might really touch the judge. It's like, you know what, man, this guy really lost everything, just like that, you know. And if you have a heart, man, you really can, like, you know what, I can understand what he mean. I can understand how he really feel, and you kind of can feel sorry for this guy. But in that same instance, you got to understand of everything we heard from that trial of just how brutal this guy was and how dangerous he is throughout the years for the 90s to the 2000s, how dangerous this guy was. And he used to beat up women and stuff like that. And it's like, wow, this guy really was like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, we see all this stuff, the flashiness and stuff like that. But when it came to the trial, this guy was a terrible human being. Like, he was terrible, so if the judge sent him to 10, 15 years, I mean, you got to understand, like, wow, do he really deserve that much time? I mean, just from all the stuff that we heard, yeah. But what he's being charged with, no. Now, what he's being charged with, and like I say in previous videos, that what he's being charged with, other people already been charged with the same stuff too. You know what I'm saying? The Mann Act, and they didn't know more than what 2 years or something like that. So I don't think he's gonna do more than 2 years. But if the judge he don't supposed to taking his feelings take his feelings out of it, but I'm just saying from a human's aspect from it, and just somebody from the sideline like me, yeah, he should do a lot of time. He really should do a lot of time because he was a terrible person. He was a terrible person, and he was a brutal guy. You know what I'm saying? You see the videos of him beating up Cassie and stuff like that, and it's all the stories from the assistants, from the personal senses and stuff like that, and just from the ex-girlfriends, how he beat them up and stuff. You know what I mean? And all the crazy, wild freak offs that the girls had with this guy. You know what I mean? So he do deserve a lot of time, but do he put this deserve a life in prison? No, not at all. Not at all, man. But this letter right here, I think maybe, I mean, you got to understand this guy's coming from mansions, servants, you know what I'm saying? Vacations, any food you want, anything you want, he could have bought. You know what I'm saying? Now come to the realization, I'm in jail. I'm in these walls with all these guys, no women. You know what I'm saying? No women. I'm in jail with all these guys, and it's like, wow, I had it all. I was a billionaire. You know what I mean? Reading this letter, I can say maybe he did reset. You know what I'm saying? Because man, like imagine having it all, and it can be gone just like that right there, man, taken away from you. You know what I'm saying? So will he really come out? Will he be free tomorrow or whenever he comes out of jail? Will he be the same person, or will he really be changed? You know what I'm saying? And really go in the community and really learn from his mistake. I can't say. I don't know. We have to wait and see. We have to wait and see. And it's gonna be crazy tomorrow, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's gonna be glued to the TV, glued to the phones and computers and stuff like that. But listen, man, that's all I got for now. Y'all tell me what y'all think about the whole situation. I might make another video before this, but until then, y'all tell me what y'all think. Y'all, how much time do y'all think did he deserve, or should he be free? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.